It's just gone noon, half past monsoon on the bank of the River Nile. Here comes a boat, only half afloat. Oarsman grins a toothless smile. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my latest little YouTube video adventure. This video is especially for Beatle Brad, who's been sending me a few messages over the last few weeks and months, and he sent me a couple today. He wants to know if Beatle Dave has got any Madness records. As a lot of you know, although I'm a massive Beatles fanatic, I do collect other records as well, and we've gone into some of them. But I don't think we've ever done a special on Madness as of yet. This isn't my whole collection, by the way. This is just some of the things that I've managed to get out while I've got time to do it. I've got a lot more on CD, but I'm not really covering the CDs today, all the singles that I've got. It's mainly just going to be albums and a few of the 12 inches. So it's not like the complete collection of Madness. It's just some of the things that I've got that are just on record. So we're going to start off with this one, which is the first album Madness ever made. And it was called One Step Beyond. I'll check it out of its protective sleeve. Now, this isn't in absolutely really first class condition, to be honest. As far as I can make out, is an original from 1979. Now, by this time, when Madness actually released this LP, they'd done a one-off single for Two Tone, but this album was actually on Stiff Records, which is a very famous record label in the UK. And because of copyright, although this is called One Step Beyond, I think that's like re-record it, because I think that they had recorded a version for Two Tone, if I've got that right. So it is a re-recording of One Step Beyond on here. I will just put my glasses on. So just bear with me 1 second. Another interesting fact about this record, this was a debut LP by Madness, and it was actually released on the same day as the debut LP by the Specials, who actually run Two Tone Records. So the cover's not that good. It's got a few names on it and things like that there and there, which you probably can't see. Like I say, it is an original from 1979. So I don't know if this was actually released in America or not, or you got like an alternate one with different songs on it. So it's One Step Beyond by Madness. You've got 14 songs. So it's harking back to the Beatles days of having 14 songs per album. So track one, side one is One Step Beyond. Hey, you don't watch that, watch this. Then you've got My Girl, which was a big hit in the UK. Then you've got Night Boat to Cairo, which was on the Work, Rest and Play EP that Madness also released. Then you've got Believe Me, Land of Hope and Glory, The Prince, which was also, I think, was a re-recording because that had already been released on Two Tone Records. So I think that's a re-recording as well. And then Tarzan's Nuts. Yes, Tarzan's Nuts. That closes side one. Side two, you've got In the Middle of the Night. Excuse me. Then you've got what should have been a single, Bed and Breakfast Man. Fantastic track. Then you've got Razor Blade Alley, Swan Lake, which last time I saw Madness live a few years ago, they were still playing that. And apparently that was going to be a single at one point as well. Then you've got Rockin' in A, Mummy's Boy, and Chipmunks Are Go. So that is the track listing. And then on here, it does say who Madness are, because sometimes they're named by the nicknames, like Suggs is known as Suggs, but that's not his real name. So Mike Barson, Monsieur Barso is keyboard player. Then we've got Chris Foreman, Chrissy Boy is guitar. Suggs, Graham McPherson is his real name. Vocals. Then you've got Mark Bedford, who is known as Bedders. He's on bass. Then you've got Lee Kicks Thompson, tenor sax, baritone sax, and vocals. He's amazing, that bloke. How he's never really injured himself. Just a quick little story. I went to see Madness play at Rock City a few years ago. Rock City is a big music venue in Nottingham. and it was their 25th anniversary. So they tried to get a lot of the bands that played in the first year to play on the 25th anniversary. And we went to see Madness, and they came on and they got like the suits that they did in Waiting for the Ghost Train, where you know, made out to look like newspapers. And Lee Thompson, he climbed right onto this great big stack of what do you call them, speakers, and he's going, shall I jump, shall I jump, shall I jump? And then he just jumped, and everybody caught him. Then you got Woody Woodsmansey, whose real name is Daniel Woodgate. He's on drums and percussion. Then you've got Chaz Smash, who unfortunately is not with him anymore. He's on backing vocals, various shouts, and fancy footwork, because originally he was a dancer. So that is the cover. This is the inner sleeve. I'm going to have to be a bit careful with this because there's a picture of a naked lady on there, and I hope that my hand covers it. Oops, didn't quite do it. Naughty Beatle Dave. And then that is the other side. Just a little bit about the recordings. So this is, bear with 1 second. These are the labels, which are very two-tony sort of like labels. But I said the record isn't in that bad a condition. You know, it has got a few scratches and stuff on it. But so that is side A. And then that is side B, or side 1 and side 2, whichever way you want to say it. Sound quality on this is brilliant. I was watching a documentary on Madness the other night, and it's because I think it was called Before We Were, or something like that. And it was on about when they actually recorded this LP. They'd only been together, the 7 of them had only been together for like 6 or 7 months, although the roots of Madness go back further than that. And obviously the only recording experience they got up till then was doing the Prince two-tone single. So there was like saying they're actually quite amazed how good that album still sounds. And it is one of those albums that has, in my opinion, has actually stood the test of time. I think I will have to put this on my shopping list to get a newer copy of this, or maybe a better original version. It has been re-released a few times. I think you can still get a brand new copy of this, but it won't be on this label. It won't be on Stiff. And for those of you that like the label numbers, this was actually SEEZ17. So that's it. That is the first Madness album in the UK. Like I said, I don't know if you got this in America or not. Excuse me. Then I've got this one. And for saying this was only released a few, I think this was released in 1980, where that was released in 1979. I'll just check. Otherwise, I'm going to make myself look silly, aren't I? Yeah, so this was like basically released within a year of the first album, and this is called Madness Absolutely. Now, there's an alternative take of this front cover where this gentleman here with the umbrella, who is Mike Barson, his umbrella is to the way up. And if you get a copy of that, it is worth a hell of a lot of money. They've gone, although they're still like ska, they've gone a little bit more poppy on this, and you've got some of like the later hits on here, or you could see where they was going to go. It starts off with baggy trousers, baggy trousers, baggy trousers, baggy trousers, do 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 do. Then you've got embarrassment. Then you've got Ernie. Then you've got close escape. Then you've got not home today. That's followed by on the beat Pete and solid gone. Side 2 is Take It or Leave It, which was also the title of a little known film that Madness made, believe it or not. Then you've got Shadow of Fear, Disappear, Overdone, In the Rain, You Said, and then Return of the Lost Palmer 7. So again, you've got 14 songs on this, and it's still on Stiff Records, and this time it is on SEEZ. 29. This is in a hell of a lot better condition than the first album, which is, again, as far as I can make out, this is an original. The sleeve and everything is really, really nice. That is the track listing. Excuse me. And if you ever get the chance to go and see Madness, please do, because they are a first-rate band to go and see live. We're quite lucky because wherever I live, we've got a big sort of like club. We've got like a park at the back of where we live, and then at the back of the park there's a big club called the Rolls-Royce Club, which is where they make the engines for the aeroplanes. And I've actually seen a tribute band to Madness there, who were actually called Badness, I think. Badness. And to be honest with you, it's just as good as seeing Madness. Not quite as good, but on par. So that is the inner sleeve. Very, very similar label to the last album. But this record is in about 100 times better condition than One Step Beyond. Although One Step Beyond does still play okay. Don't get me wrong. I could just do with getting a newer copy or better copy. That's side 2. But in the UK, anything like that's original from the Ska revival of 1979 is worth a hell of a lot of money nowadays. Or the original ones, like I said, I can get the issues of these, which are on colour vinyl, I think. Mike, pre-code fan. We have Fab Dave and Fab Brad. That says 3 fast. Yeah. Well, Dave, you look very Ska backbeat with that hat. Thank you very much. My stepfather actually brought me this hat a couple of years ago. I've got some of the old like pork pie hats, but this one is, I think this one does actually suit me, and it looks even better when I haven't got my glasses on, but I need my glasses on to do the video, unfortunately. This next one is a compilation, which was one of the first compilations Madness made. But if you're getting into Madness, this is one of the better compilations to get. I think this is a reissue, though, to be honest. It was originally this was released on Stiff Records in around 1981, I think it was, and there was a great big TV ad campaign that went along with this. But I've got a feeling this is on Virgin Records. This is a gatefold this time as well. No, it says Stiff Records. It says Stiff Records on the sleeve. It might be an original. Yeah, it is. I know I've got another copy on Virgin, which we'll go into later why they ended up being on Virgin. So it's 16 hit tracks. So side 1 is Embarrassment, Shut Up, My Girl, Baggy Trousers, It Must Be Love, The Prince, Bed and Breakfast Man, and Night Boat's Caro. Side 2 is House of Fun, One Step Beyond, Cardiac Arrest, Grey Day, Take It or Leave It, In the City, Madness, and Return of the Lost Parmesan. In the City, by the way, was used as a commercial in Japan for a car, believe it or not. And the back on this does actually tell you information about songs. And like I say, you've got like pictures of memorabilia and stuff on the inside of the gatefold. As far as I know, this is the inner sleeve, because I know some of the inner sleeves, sometimes you get the words and stuff, but let me just make them. 1982 this came out, this compilation. 1982. So they've been making records for all of 3 years when this came out, and they already had a greatest hits one out. I don't know if you can be able to see these labels. There you can, because they're actually quite nice. Again, this record is in really, really nice condition. Still fairly common to get, but for an original one that's on stiff and not on virgin, it is a bit of a rarity nowadays. Now, they made a few more albums, and then they decided to set up their own record label. So they moved away from Stiff Records and they formed their own record label called Zarjazz, which was distributed by Virgin, hence why some of the issues were on Virgin. So in 1986, Madness had enough, basically, and they said, we're splitting up. So they released the single, Waiting for the Ghost Train. Ooh, waiting for the train that never comes, which again is a fantastic song, and the video to it is absolutely brilliant. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is a brilliant video. And then they released this album, which again is basically a sister album to Complete Madness, and this one's called Utter Madness. The other album that they did on Zarjazz just before this was Mad Not Mad. That was Zarjazz 1, and this is Zarjazz LP2 or JZLP2, where Mad Not Mad, which I've got on CD somewhere, but I haven't got a vinyl copy of it, which again is worth quite a bit of money. So on this one, you've got slightly late hits on this mixed up with some of the songs are on Complete Madness. And this came out in 1986, I believe. And by this time, the keyboard player, Mike Barson, had actually left, although he did come back to play on Waiting for the Ghost Train, the song. So that is the front cover. And then that is the back cover. Plain black sleeve. Labels on this are nice though. So that is side A. And that is side B. So the tracks on this are, start off with side 1, do it right, Dave, is Our House, Driving in My Car, I've been driving in my car, Michael Caine, and all I wanted was a word, a photograph, Wings of a Dove, oh, for the wings of a dove, Yesterday's Man, hang on to today, which I think was the first single that they did on Zarjazz, but I could be wrong. Tomorrow's Just Another Day. Love that song. I hear them saying tomorrow's just another day. Tomorrow's just another day. Then you've got Our Complete, which finishes off side 1. So on side 2, we've got Waiting for the Ghost Train, which was the last original single by Madness up to this point. Then you've got Uncle Sam. Well, I'm sailing across the sea to be with my Uncle Sam. Again, fantastic song and a brilliant video. Then you've got The Sun and the Rain. Then you've got The Sweetest Girl, which actually wasn't written by Madness. It was written by the singer of a British band called Scrittipality, and he went by the name of Green. The sweetest girl in all the world. Wasn't that big a hit, to be honest. Then you've got One Better Day. And then you've got Victoria Gardens. So, as far as the general public in the UK and across the world, I mean, I know Madness did do some TV and stuff in America. That should have been the end of Madness. But after a year or so, I think Woody went on to be in The Voice of the Beehive, if I remember rightly, is the drummer. Suggs had a go at being a stand-up comedian, which I still think he could have done a good job of that. And then some of the original members came back to form a new band. and I say new, right? A new band that out of all the names that they could have picked, they picked The Madness. And this is just basically Chrissy Boy, Chaz Smash, Suggs, and Lee Thompson. So the other three have nothing to do with this. There's a couple of hits on it. I Pronounce You's the big hit. I now pronounce you, ding, 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 has a sitar in it. So it's Nail Down the Days. What's That, which I think was a single as well. I Pronounce You. Oh. And then In Wonder. Side 2, Song in Red. Nightwear, Nightwear. Thunder and Lightning. Beat the Bride. And Gabriel's Horn. Now this was like a comeback album, but it wasn't really a comeback album. None of the songs on here, as far as I know, have ever been on any other like Madness compilation album. I think it was just a one-off. They did do a few live shows and stuff. There was on a big TV show in the UK called Saturday Night Live when they premiered Singing It Live, I Pronounce You, which was a moderate hit in the UK, don't get me wrong. And this time they're not on Zarjazz, they've gone back the one Virgin, hence the back catalogue went to Virgin. So that is side 1. See that. I'm having to do this on my laptop, so you might not be able to see the labels because this laptop for some reason doesn't like white labels. Again, this is in really, really nice condition. A few years after this, again, they've gone separate ways. Suggs had a bit of a solo career. I think Lee Thompson and Chrissy Boy did a band called the Nutty Boys or something like that. And then they all got back to do an album called Wonderful, which had Love Struck on it and Drip Dead Fed, I think, which again I've got on CD, but we're not looking at CDs, was The Madness, which technically is Madness, but for contractual reasons, nowadays they class it as a completely separate band, although for the original members, wasn't it? Then we've got a couple of 12 inches. I don't know if you get these around the world. Basically, they're like a single, so it's the same size as an LP, but you play it at 45 RPM. So this is still on stiff, this one, which is The Sun and the Rain. I hear the sound of rain falling on my face. I can say there isn't a better place. Nice artwork on the front. That is actually from the video there. And some of these can be worth quite a bit of money. So this is Buy It. That's the catalogue number. BUY/IT 192. And this is from what year are we? I think this is from 83, if I remember rightly. 1983. So you've got a slightly extended version of The Sun and the Rain on side 1. And then on side 2, you've got Fireball XL5, which isn't the theme song to a puppet show of many, many years ago from the 1950s. It is a completely different song. And then you've got My Girl Live, but it doesn't say where it was recorded live. So Fireball XL5 says Thompson Stroke Madness, and that's produced by Secret 7 and Ian Holm. My Girl is a Clive Winsley production. Sorry, a Callinger Winsley production, as is The Sun and the Rain. Then we've got Tomorrow Never Knows. Oh, sorry, Tomorrow Never Knows. That's Beatles, isn't it? Tomorrow's Just Another Day. This time you get 4 songs on this, and it's Buy It 169. So you get Tomorrow's Just Another Day, single edit, I think. Blue Beast. Then you've got Tomorrow's Just Another Day with guest vocal Elvis Costello, courtesy of FB Records. And then you've got Madness Is All in the Mind, which was the original B-side for the single. This is basically what the sleeve looked like for the standard 45 RPM 7-inch single. Stills from the video on the back. Yeah, I think I've got Revolve on the brain, mate, because I am still looking forward to getting me box set, which I thought might be here today, but I think it's going to be more Friday or Saturday now. So this is side 1. It's on a green sort of like label. So like I say, you get Tomorrow's Just Another Day, and you get Blue Beast. It says Warp Mix, but I don't know what Warp Mix means. So, and it is a slightly extended version of Tomorrow's Just Another Day. And then on side 2, you've got Tomorrow's Just Another Day, sorry, with Elvis Costello singing it, and Madness Is All in the Mind. Lovely sounding record. Oh, is it a 12-inch single, or is it a 12-inch 4-track EP? Then we've got One Better Day, which was also on the last album they made for Stiff Records, I think, if I remember rightly. So this is Buy It 201. So it's One Better Day, and then it was off the album Keep Running, by the way, this was. And Victoria Gardens and Sarah on side 2, so I think I've got that wrong. One Better Day, taken from the album Keep Running, and then you've got Guns, and that's the 2 songs on side 1. And on side 2, you've got Victoria Gardens, and then you've got Sarah. Side 2. So again, is it a 12-inch single, or is it a 12-inch EP? I'd say I would actually class that as a 12-inch EP. And we've got one more to look at, and then that will be it, which is the final one. This is Yesterday's Man. Yesterday's Men, sorry. And this is very similar to the album cover for Mad Not Mad. And this is where they're not so much poppy or ska, they're more sort of like soul, going more into like soul than anything. And the interesting thing about this is there's still a connection to Two Tone, and there's still a connection to the specials, even on this, which was one of the last singles that they made, because on the B side, you've got All I Knew. Yeah, you've got on the B side, you've got a song called All I Knew, which was written by Graham Suggs McPherson. And then you've got Yesterday's Man demo version, right? But All I Knew has got Jerry Dammers specials playing keyboards. And on side 1, you've got Yesterday's Men 12-inch version. So that's all that is on that. It is a very, very long rendition of it. Again, the record itself is in really, really nice condition. The labels are lovely on these. It's a shame that, the later issues don't still use the Czar Jazz label. I mean, might do, I don't know. But I know like in the 90s, it was all on Virgin. Anything you got off of Magnus in the 90s was on the Virgin label. Cover on that side is okay. Water damage on that side. So I hope that's been a bit of entertainment for you all. Oh dear, I'm sorry you spilt your coffee. I don't know, somebody spilt the coffee now. Never mind. I hope everything turns out in the wash, as they say in the UK. So that's going to be it for today. So I hope you haven't minded me doing something just a little bit different. But like I say, Beatle Brad did actually say, have I got any records by Madness? And since I'd got a day off today, I thought, yeah, I'll do a quick video, although it's not that quick, is it? And just show you some of the records I've got of Madness. I've got some like 7-inch singles and stuff, if I can remember where they are. And I've got some of the albums on CD as well. So yeah, you've all enjoyed that. If you've enjoyed it and you're not subscribed, by the way, please do me a favour and just subscribe. It is free, and anything that's free nowadays, it's got to be a bargain. Even if it's an old nutter like me, talking a load of rubbish half the time. As you can tell, I don't take myself that serious. To everybody that has subscribed, thank you very much. Whether you're a new subscriber, an old subscriber, a casual viewer, you're all welcome here. You know, this channel is only quite a small channel compared to some other people's channels, but I have lots and lots of fun doing it. I love doing it, and I hope you lot love me doing it. The next videos will be on the Beatles, because I've got quite a bit of stuff still coming in the post, which I hoped would have been here for today. But obviously they're not going to be in there. So the next video will probably be on Sunday now, all being well. Hopefully, if the stuff's come by then. So until then, it's love, peace, and happiness to you all. Thank you to everybody for subscribing, leaving me likes, and leaving me comments. I love you all, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Until the next time, it's Beatle Dave saying ta for now.